Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here in the wake of Alliance taking a very strong Game 1. That was way more one-sided than I thought it would be. Going into that series, I thought it would be kind of an even footing type match. That was just Alliance dominating the entire time.
Stuns are good, especially when your tri-lane has 3 stuns. Like, you can't mess it up. Like, yeah. Basically it came down to if Bambo casts Cogs.
Right when you get the first stun.
Right before he gets stunned, then he's okay. But if he doesn't, he dies, because he's going to get stunned for 4 seconds, and he's going to get auto-attacked a lot. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, the game was over by like 8 minutes in, essentially. Like, you knew what was going to happen from there. They had such a big lead. Like, the Broodmother got enough space at the bottom lane. Like, just compare the 2 offlaners, right? Like, Admiral Bulldog did very well against his tri-lane, and Sexy Bambo died like 2 times in the first 2 minutes against his tri-lane. Like, there was a very big difference between the two, and you needed the exact opposite. You needed your Clockwork to actually have a large impact in that game.
Well, normally the difference is that, all right, Clockwork dies 3 times in lane. He gets level 6. The ideal script is he walks around and kills supports for days. But what happened was Lesh max Edict. So Alliance was like, all right, time to push towers. So you don't get that solo kill potential. And not only that, because Leshrack's pushing towers so hard, you know, when 4CL try to defend against Leshrack, Broodmother's also pushing. So I think it was just a combination of such. Also, in the past, when you see Broodmother die a ton of in lane, she just recovers very easily. She is not dependent on hitting the hooks. She's not dependent on fighting solo supports. She's going to find that T1 tower and send spiders at it. It's not that hard. Yep. So I felt like Brood is just the stronger hero, and Leshrack was really the MVP for me in that game.
And even like the early item builds from Alliance, when you have when your Queen of Pain and your Broodmother can just go, all right, we're both going to grab an Orchid first, and it's no problem, that's when things just spiral out of control. The level of control they can put out is pretty serious. So we've got another draft already underway. Our casters summarized it pretty well at the end of that, the end of the first game, but this puts Group A in a really interesting spot. Now 4 Clovers have no chance at making top 2. Alliance as well as Liquid have more points than them regardless of the outcome of this game. So it's not over yet. Empire can still work their way into the top 2, but it is contingent on Liquid not doing so well in their next 2 series, and 4 Clovers tying this up would make Empire's chances a little bit better. So there is still something for 4CL to play for in terms of screwing over Alliance for a bit of vengeance in the future.
Yeah, and Alliance can essentially be playing for first place, I guess, in a way. Though I guess that doesn't really matter if they're going into a round-robin stage, right? It just top 2, that's all that matters.
Yeah, there's
so
another round robin
really
after this. So getting second place is not the...
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
It's not really the end of the world.
Yeah, so I guess the Alliance is just like, whatever.
But
well, they would definitely try to win this one to shut out any chance of not... Because if they win this one, there's no way Empire could get into a 3-way tie with them.
I thought it was Team Liquid that was the one team that could get upset by Empire. Am I right?
Right, if Empire wins their next 2 set, they'll be at 7 points. If Alliance loses this, they will also be at 7 points.
Empire only has 1 set to go, and it's against the Liquid. So if they win that...
Oh, okay.
Then I think that means that it's still... then it would be Empire and Alliance.
I see,
yes, if Alliance draws here and Empire goes 2-0 over Liquid, then they'll have a tie break for the second slot.
Well, I'm pretty sure that S4 is not sitting there calculating. I think he just wants to win the game, right? Let's be real.
That's definitely
I mean, it's good practice. It's you still have a lot more tournament to go. Like, you're obviously not going to reveal anything, but, you know, it's still good to make sure you're on your A game.
4CL starting out with a lawnmower strat here. Ion Shell on the Ember Spirit.
But they're against a Night Stalker, and Disruptor is also kind of scary. A couple ways to catch the Ember and guarantee his death. In some of the Chinese games, we saw Doom against it. That worked really well, but you're going to have to use a weaker version of Silence, I think.
Okay, so what else do we have here?
They've got the
Night Stalker.
Spirit Breaker Darkseer combination for 4C+L in the offlane. Really dangerous. One of the toughest dual lanes to go up against. I think the only dual lane that's probably a little bit scarier would be something with the Undying, just because it's Undying. The Disruptor pickup is a nice controlling hero versus the Ember Spirit. I like it, but
here's the thing. I heard
still concerned about the lane.
I heard that both ways, because I've seen where Embers, like, they have really good slight timing to dodge the glimpse, or use the Fire Spirit timing to, you know, dodge his combo and stuff like that. Or do you think it's actually the other way around, where you see the more standard glimpse back into a static storm, Ember gets controlled and killed?
I think the important thing is that you're using the Disruptor when you're ganking the Ember Spirit. You have to use it with smokes, because the Ember Spirit, like, if you just have a Remnant far enough away, like, he's never going to be able to glimpse you, right? So that just, like, sometimes that doesn't even become a factor if the Ember Spirit's like, well, I jumped 3,000 units away and you can't even possibly catch up to me. So in that regard, like the Disruptor isn't that good. I think the important thing is that you continually use smokes to gank him, so you're able to get that just like instant static storm. And it also helps if you have some sort of lead, some sort of leading stun.
Like Night Stalker with a slow, perhaps even a silence here.
Yeah, I mean during nighttime they obviously have that vision advantage, especially if you can get the Ag. So if you can lead with that silence, and so much control potential against the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I think the Ember versus Disruptor can be a little 50-50, but this is still an amazing game for the Disruptor. Great against the Spirit Breaker, also great against the Darkseer as well as the Ember. So it's just a whole messy utility.
It's kind of weird to see Gyrocopter phased out so much and then all of a sudden thrown back in. I feel like he still has some value. Like his late game is not amazing, but his early game is very strong and his mid game is also very strong.
Yeah.
I'm not really sold for this Wyvern here. I mean, Wyvern's generally a strong hero, but Cold Embrace to me doesn't have too much utility. Curse is alright, but Curse is always alright at the very least, right? Like, it doesn't feel like it's an amazing Wyvern game.
Yeah, I think the problem is they needed a saving hero, and it was like, we can't have the Dazzle, so I guess we get Winter Wyvern, because you need something to be able to save the Ember Spirit in these situations where he's disabled.
Okay, that's fair.
So Death Prophet very commonly builds 2 dead fish.
Yeah.
What's 2 dead fish? Oh.
I'm not sure what item that is, but it's good.
I think it existed in that Greevil, that Winter Greevil.
Is that like the inverse mango? Like, you're eating a dead fish today, or taking some of your mana.
Death Prophet's a hero that's basically just unpicked right now. Well, I can't wait to see what build he goes. I assume it's either going to be like the Yules, maybe an Octarine, something like that.
Phase it, get buff. Phase Yules. You're moving fast.
And the stinky Venomancer here for 4CL to round out their draft.
I don't think movement speed's what you get when you're against a Spirit Breaker, an Ember, and a Venom.
You just outrun them. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, we need to do our predictions here before we hand it over to the casters. We were split 50-50 last time. Lumi, we'll start with you again.
I'm going to go Alliance. I like DP a lot. I think, what is it, 8-second silence?
Yeah.
Kind of broken.
Like
going to go with that here.
6, yeah.
Witchcraft increases, right?
It's the cooldown is low, but the duration.
So uptime is high. Okay.
I'm going to say Alliance as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I will say Alliance as well. I was talking to Blitz earlier. I wanted to see a Death Prophet in one of our earlier games, so I guess this kind of fulfills that. And I don't think the Winter Wyvern's going to be good enough saving hero against all this magic damage.
Yeah, I want to have faith in the Veno. I'll say 4CL to be kind of the one that stands out of the pack, the black sheep, but I think Alliance is just going to out-execute here. We'll see what happens. And with that, we're going to hand it over to our casters. Again, we've got Mott and Synderen to take it away.
Thanks, guys, and welcome back into 4CL versus Alliance, the second game of the series. Sadly, it doesn't really mean much for 4CL. They are out of the running. Alliance right now, just about to secure one of the top spots here, of course, in their group stage. So, fantastic play in their first game right now. Interesting draft to pick up the Death Prophet. Of course, I'm Mott, with me is Sind. There's already action happening, it looks like. Rocket Barrage. Bambo's in trouble. He's done so. They actually got the kill with the Crypt Swarm. They just 4-man into their own jungle and got an easy kill. Sox was able to make it out because of the Arctic Burn. We didn't even get to talk before something happened in this game. All right, cool. Good start.
Welcome to the game, everyone. First blood goes to, who got it? Death Prophet, man. That's such a good start for S4. He's going for a null tally build, so he will get a fast bottle too. And, well, the panels sounded like they were mainly favoring Alliance in this game, and I think there are 2 good reasons to do it. The first one is I think their draft is pretty solid. They have a good combination of split damage in the fights, and they have heroes they're comfortable with and a good lockdown. And at the same time, 4CL, they've got to be crippled after that last game. They just got knocked out, technically, and they should know this as well, that they're out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to play your A game going into the game with the mentality that the game technically doesn't matter. Of course, they want to put on a show for their fans if they can and just make the best out of it. But you can also, I feel like in a way, you can also tell from their picks, right? This is super aggressive. Just let's fight. Let's. It's less strategic and more YOLO, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they could go, they get the Pyrrhic victory, and maybe that, bodes well for either the next major qualifier or whatever big tournament they're playing in, obviously. I want to ask you, though, about one specific matchup between the Death Prophet and the Venomancer. Generally, the wards are going to be the key factor right here for Pyket, though, I believe.
Well, this is a lane that Death Prophet should win in the start, but because of the 11 damage advantage, and this is with both of them buying a stat item. Death Prophet just has the way superior base damage. When the Plague Wards come up, it can get tricky for the Death Prophet, but at the same time, he got First Blood. So I think S4 is easily going to be able to hold his own here. It's definitely not one of the worst heroes you can have against Venom mid.
Bottom lane, looks like they're going to try to make a go here. Tusk is going to look for EGM. He won't be able to fight him. Instead, they turn their attention to Bambo. Bambo doesn't have Surge. He went for the Iron Shell first. Now gets it skilled up. He is level 2. So Bambo should be okay. Ake doesn't have his Glimpse ready. So this tri-lane is very lethal on the side of Alliance. And this should mean that, again, Loda probably gets a decent amount of farm. And on the other side, they have a dual lane. Admiral Bulldog might be able to contest Swift Ending for a little bit of farm here. And we already talked about mid, so it kind of comes down to how can 4CL get the Spirit Breaker involved in a kill. They can put the Iron Shell on him. They can get him across the map. They can get him in maybe even another hero down bottom and try to get a gank. This dual lane, I don't mind this dual lane setup coming up from 4CL currently.
No, they're not really getting that much out. I don't know what their options are though. If they rotate the Wyvern bot, I still don't think they can win this lane. So in my opinion, EGM needs to do exactly what he's doing now. He needs to get active somewhere else. Either go top and try to kill Bulldog, or put some pressure mid onto S4 and just let Darkseer solo bottom, since well, their dual lane didn't really work out, and it's only going to get harder.
If this snowball hits, he's done so. They get the Ice Shards off as well. Crypt Swarm will actually just bring him down. Easy kill coming through. It's a really great rotation. And they missed the Gale on both the heroes, both on S4 and mine. That's Pycat, swing and a miss. So not only does EGM rotate in, sure, he gets a little bit of experience coming out from the creep wave when it's the 2-minute rune, but he dies for it with just a really good rotation. I don't even see Minus come in, but he'll grab a TP scroll. He can head either top or back towards the bottom lane, and there's the charge into Ake. Bambo with the Iron Shell, trying to be a nuisance. Rocket Barrage not connecting. Loda's not quite close enough. It needs to be careful. Charge is going to continue. Ake, no glimpse back just yet. Another bash coming through. EGM getting that luck. And so they'll take down the support Disruptor. In the meantime, Swift aiming the top lane, getting a kill up on Admiral Bulldog, popping up the Flame Guard and the Searing Chain, so easily done there. Bottom lane, and all the frickin' map, they go for another one. Jesus.
This is... I think YOLO was a pretty good description for what's happening in this game so far. Very, very aggressive play from both teams.
Yeah.
Alliance, I feel, are getting a slight advantage here. At the same time, this bottom lane has kind of been salvaged now for 4CL with what just happened.
I'm going to charge down there as well. Spirit Breaker is making his way downtown, walking fast. Sexy Bambo is just going to throw up an Iron Shell. He's actually cutting the creep wave in. And Loda's just heading home. He's getting charged, and he just does not want any part of this. He knows EGM is back up and alive. This is definitely salvage. He's not getting any farm. Won't get experience now. That long trip is going to put a lot of pressure on this tower. This is going to mean that there's going to be a lot of CS going the way of Bambo if he wants it. So that's pretty huge. Ake will get some solo experience, which I guess is fine, but they made him walk back. They made Loda walk back.
He's going to be returning to the bot lane just now. And now the rotations are going to be interesting because Minots has the potential, of course, to go top now that it's nighttime. This is a very good time for Tusk to be off the map as it puts pressure on all 3 lanes. Not even Swift Ending can feel safe in this top lane right now. Bulldog already starting to harass him. He has double mangoes. So plenty of mana to just spend to harass down Swift Ending in the first place and open up for Minots to come in. But he's staying off the map still. Maybe thinking about mid lane on Pycat, who's fairly far up now.
Yeah.
If he tries to go for another CS, he could just die right now.
They're going to go for the snowball. They have the edge shards at the ready as well. They'll use them. Cryptstorm goes. He's going to get the Gale off, but Pycat might... He looks like he will go down. He'll try to bottle up. Another Cryptstorm should do the job. Not enough. The last right click. Yeah, there it is. As far as just enough damage to finish off that kill. And Minots gets it done again. So they're trading off maybe a little bit of farm bottom lane for getting kills on the mid laner and Pycat. And we talked about it. When you're a Venomancer, you need those Plague Wards to be effective in lane. And this is just getting S4 further and further ahead.
Yeah, this mid lane is just super lost. Like, when the mid laner is 1,000 gold ahead of the second... Look at the net worth right now. Like, what is this? This is a minute 5 game. This is an Alchemist with Greevil's Greed tier at minute 10. That relative advantage he will have over his opposing mid laner. So, S4 with the mega lead right now. Bottom lane, Bambo.
Yeah, they will rotate Pycat, actually, and this might be pretty huge. There's the poison of a mine that's about to die. Ake as well. Can they grab Loda? Not slowed up. The poison sting doing a good job. EGM going to maybe sacrifice his life for this charge. Getting hit up by the tower. No, he's fine. They take down all 3. Sure, they lose out on the darks here, but they are absolutely happy with that. Pycat getting some extra gold involved, but now in the middle lane, they'll pop the Exorcism. This is the trade they're looking for. The glyph was already used. Bambo will rotate in with another TP coming through. That'll be from the Wyvern. Maybe Splinter Blast the creep wave and then go from there. S4 is actually getting charged, but Bulldog is on the backside. It's nighttime. He's got 2 points in Hunter, and the Knight even has 2 mangoes as well. Splinter Blast charge still coming. have to know this is happening. S4's gonna walk right up. There's the R2 burn. Can they get this done? Surge up from Bambo, has the Ion Shell on himself. S4 gets healed up. They have the Ghost coming back in, and he just won't go down, and Soxa now gets blown up. Admiral Bulldog using that 100 in the night. They even pop the urn up. He'll get 2 kills, or at least help get them. And Bulldog will make his way out of there, going towards that top lane. Might even pick up that Invis rune as well.
They don't see it either.
Oh,
Swiftending might have caught the end of that? No, I don't think he knows.
No.
This could be a dead EGM as well if they play it right.
Yeah. Bulldog is stalking as Night Stalkers often do. That was better in my head, I'm sorry.
He's playing his hero. He's stalking in the night. Very nice.
Freaking freaky looking hero. Bulldog's done a nice job so far. 1-1-1. Rotated to get that kill mid. We haven't seen him off the map too much. It is the first night time. This is what we often see. That first night you have to be, pretty effective. Getting a kill here and there is definitely pretty good. Pycat will rotate and even find a ward. But with that ward, they should know that Pycat's down here. They'll charge on Loda. Loda should back up now, but it looks like they're TPing in extra help. S4's here. Doesn't have the exorcism. There's the Rocket Barrage. Can throw up the kinetic field. Ake does have the glimpse back. He probably will use it. Crypt Storm does so much damage. They just blow up EGM as well. And S4, I mean, they went in even though they knew there was a ward there. They had seen the Radiant Vision, and they decided, okay, we're still going to go for this. S4 just TPs down bottom. They get an easy kill.
Yeah, I think that's one of those situations where if there's more in the line, you think twice and you're a little bit more cautious and you weigh the pros and cons against each other, and it is a little bit more YOLO mid lane now. Sax is in a lot of trouble. Decent TP support though. Mango. Oh, good change.
Comes in, the change will save his life for now. Soxa don't go back in there yet. Now he can maybe think about doing it as he's salving up, but Swift Ending essentially saves his life for pretty much Soxa just living. Now down bottom, there's the charge EGM looking for Loda. They want to stop him farming. He's got his phase boost. Glimpse back on EGM, but they've already hit the Gale. There's actually Glimpse back on the Venoman, so it doesn't even matter. They have the Iron Chill up. They have more than enough damage. Now they're chasing after Ake. Ake's like, please, for the love of God, my tower's here. Somebody TP and they'll get some help in the form of the Tusk. They're going to find Ake in a moment. Instead, they'll go on Minus. There's the Poison of it's going to hit on both of them as well. Minus gets blown up.
What is this game? It's just Dive City.
Yeah, I mean, they're just running under the tower. Nobody's TPing in. Admiral Bulldog's like, you're on your own. I don't have a TP. Screw you guys.
I mean, the synergy between Veno and Ion Shell melee heroes is super sick. Yeah. It's so easy to stay on the target when they're slowed down by either Plague Ward or by Gale. And you just run next to them with a Spirit Breaker and Darkseer. And what are they going to do? Alliance have to be a little bit careful. But then again, I'm saying that, and then I'm looking at the net worth and I'm like, they're fine. The advantage is just so big on S4 right now. But if you take that out of the picture, if you don't consider how far ahead he is of the Veno, the other core heroes on the enemy team of 4C+L are actually leading. It's a 1K lead for Alliance only, with S4 2K ahead. So he has to do a lot of work for his team.
It's one of those situations where you take out, well, maybe not quite as much, but you take out S4 and the game's a bit closer, obviously. Loda, obviously, with the phase boots. Mango, he's trying to find a safe place to farm, and top lane will be that home for him. Ake and Minus will actually smoke behind him, realizing that he might actually get ganked himself. And there are a couple heroes rotating up, including EGM, who's charging, but there's not going to be much help there as they head back towards the lane, back towards that tier 1 tower. So they've already taken out the tier 1 tower bottom, but in the meantime, S4 did exorcism and grab the mid lane. Minuts will lead the way. He has the Smoke of Deceit Gate. Not level 6 yet, but he's going to find Pycat. Pycat's no Poison Nova. There's the triple remnant. No, just one. Minuts in trouble. There's going to be the Gale as well. So slow. They throw down the call down. Swift Ending has the Flame Guard on. Bambo not taking much damage. There's the wall, but no vacuum. Doesn't have it skilled up. He's only level 6. Splinter Blast doing some work as well. Now the Ice Shard's going in. Bambo so low. Remnant back. They really want these kills. Swift Ending. Rocket Frost. He doesn't have the Flame Guard. Sticks up. Will stay alive. The Urn Charge will take him down with a Thunder Strike. Turns into just a 1-for-0. S4. Exorcism on cooldown for 40 seconds on the other side. Finally, Soxa gets something done. He actually gets the Splinter Blast off, gets a kill. Spirit Breaker on the other side, grabbing the Tusk as well. Bulldog getting chased down. EGM, give him the bash. Decides against it. They don't want to fight into this. They don't know what Rocket Barrage is up. And there's the Winter's Curse. S4 attacking Bulldog. This should be a kill. Not yet. There it goes. The Nether Strike coming in from EGM, but getting body blocked beautifully by S4. And finally, the fight will end after much bloodshed. Whew, Jesus. I don't even know what happened.
I hate these fights. It's really funny to see because both teams are just...
We're not even done, man.
No, they're just going to fight until this game is over. Like, no farming. Just take fights. Very nice sleight of fist, actually, from Swift, and he ends up dodging both of the call-down procs, but yeah, he's
What
gone.
was that thought process from him? He's the only one alive, or one of the only ones alive.
I think his thought process was, I'm going in. And his next thought was, I immediately regret my decision. And then, unfortunately, he didn't really have the mana or spirit to get out of there again. So full committing to a 1-on-3 into 3 heroes with mega magic damage to remove Flame Guard instantly. Generally not the best idea.
I understand what they're going for. It's a release game for 4CL. They just want to run at heroes and have some fun. But if you think that the Ember Spirit could farm and you know, actually get items and be effective this game, they would probably have a good chance of winning, I feel like. But the Ember Spirit's just like, all right, let's press my right-click button and see what happens. But again, you talked about it earlier on. S4 now has a Yule Scepter, by the way, so that's
he can remove Flame Guard with that.
Yep.
That was one of the really big nerfs that Ember actually got, and he's still a big pick today, even after that. But a couple of abilities that were unpurgeable in the past got purgeable. I think it was a patch that made 10 or so new abilities purgeable. Yules just ruins that hero. Flame Guard is so important. You can Yules into silence with Death Prophet and it takes away all of his capability.
Yeah, how are you supposed to get out? You're not really capable of fighting.
You have to perfectly jump a remnant.
This is a great pick against Ember Spirit. If you were able to get the start that S4 had, well, I mean, it's S4, so he's obviously got the gold to do it. Meanwhile, they're wrapping in. EGM's going to charge Loda. Call down's available. They have Bulldog nearby as well. There's going to be the Arts of Burn. They'll PL up Bulldog. They'll try to TP. Another strike will go, canceling the TP. Bulldog might be the only casualty for now. Silence comes up onto 3 heroes. They're going to back away. They still have that poison over if they want it. They're going to bring in Soxia. He gets the Winter's Curse off, but is it enough? Now they get the poison over. It'll catch on to S4 in trouble. They need this kill. The wall's dropped as well. Bamboo chasing after Loda. Remnant in, Swift ending. They just want to run at people. More running. The Gale doesn't connect. No, but the Remnant from Swift ending is just enough. They're diving past the freaking tier 3 tower when there's still a tier 1 up. Minus trying to finish off Swift ending, and he just can't do it for God's sakes. Alliance are thinking, how are we losing to this squad? We're getting our tier 3
Yeah, let's go, EGM. Let's go, boys.
Get him! Hero.
Get him, yes!
And then he gets voided.
Worth.
100% worth. XD. You know it's a fun game with when both teams are memeing.
I mean, this is good. This is good stuff.
This is what we need. Oh god, Gale, Bulldog gets Searing Shapes up as well. Silence up, High Cat, there's the Snowball Walrus Punch. He's actually pretty tanky. The call down will go hit the tower, it gets denied, and then they blow up High Cat.
Alright, Swift ending. I think you got more in the tank. I think this is an engage for you right here.
Yeah, turn. That's what I'm yelling if I'm any other person on that team. He's got a double damage rune. It's definitely time to turn.
Now it's go time.
Yeah.
This is a very good moment. No Flame Guard, no Sleight of Fist, only 1 Spirit. Throw it aggressively, go in. You need to throw it now.
Oh god. Oh! What? Did he get that off before he got...
He timed his Remnant jump beautifully.
Yeah, that was sick.
So if you start jumping to the Remnant, it has a little bit of travel time. So if you time it so it's just before you arrive with the Glimpse, the cast is still going and you arrive. That was a very nice mechanical display from him. Nice heals from S4.
EGM's dead.
Not so sure. He can actually just try to run and then charge in a few seconds.
He's got charge now. Can he get it off in time? He'll turn. Rock Brush, last tick, doesn't connect. And EGM will make it out. He'll earn himself up. He'll try to get to greener pastures. Swift ending. Oh my god, that Crypt Swarm almost killed him.
I'm dying over here.
If EGM gets caught by that, he's like, god damn it. Minuts is 007 right now. Walrus Punch ready to go. EGM is just walking his way back towards his tower, and he doesn't know anything. Oh, Midas doesn't go for it. What is this game? Let's just run at each other and see what happens.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey.
They ended up getting him.
Swift ending, double damage. Oh, there's the Flame Guard. It's going to get purged off. And the double damage rune as well. Remnant goes through. He needs some help badly. Bambo's nearby. Bambo searches himself. Swift ending's here like, can you help me? And he's going to get exorcismed. Right click. There's no void mana left, actually, but it doesn't matter. More than enough damage.
You know what this reminds me of? This is an all-star game. That's the thing. This game is more like an all-star game than anything. Earlier I was going to say, man, this is like a pub game. But even pub games aren't this reckless. This is completely like all-star games and tournaments where the teams are just like, we're playing for fun, we're playing to entertain the audience. Let's just go.
Yeah, but Alliance has stuff to lose, essentially. They have something on the line. Bambo's going to get Static Storm goes, the Ice Charge to do enough damage. And
Alliance are guaranteed top 2.
Are they?
Yeah, they have 7 points already if this is a draw.
Yes, you're right.
And they're 2-0 against Empire, so they should win a tiebreak.
Okay, you're right. Okay, I guess they don't have much. I mean, yeah, they don't have anything to lose, really, then. Well.
They're also just playing their lineup. Like, both of these lineups are really good at fighting, but this is like the extreme version where it's just going ham. Yeah, okay. Must be hard doing camera in this game, I think.
I'm sure it's fine. JJ's up to snuff.
Yeah, we got We got Pimp Muckle on camera. We good? Or do we have Weapus? It says Weapus when I speak.
No, it's Pimp.
It's Pimp Muckle? He didn't log out?
I'm pretty sure it's Pimp.
It's actually a good strategy, because then if the camera is bad, you just say it was Weapus.
Then what does Weapus feel like?
It's like, it wasn't me, and then you're like, well, should have logged out.
There is a rocket flying on top of EGM as he charges towards
This is this game in a nutshell.
Nice
Oh, that just happened.
Classic stuff. Really. Just classic.
What is this shit? Like,
Glimpse him? No, he's dead. All right.
that was awesome. He tried to outrun the rocket with charge, and then he gets stunned 2 millimeters in front of Bulldog, and he just turns around and kills him with the
I guess
Death
this is where you just like you Steam message people on the other team, and you just start memeing them and saying like XD and things like that. Dambo's dead again.
Oh, we're past that point.
Yeah. Well.
We already had the XD from Loda earlier. I don't know what territory we're on now. What's Pycat doing bottom? Go fight. Why are you farming and split pushing with your haster in your bottle?
One player on
it's
his
a go
squad
time.
that's farming up. He actually has a Midas too. See, that's super helpful because he doesn't even have to farm in order to be able to get certain items.
Radiant's
Fight
bottom
uses
tower
Midas
is
occasionally,
under
boom. It's the perfect fighting build. No, it's not. Don't listen to me.
Are you sure? You sounded very convinced. Oh, that's a Yule's opportunity for S4. He doesn't want to go.
Look at this
Can't
smoke. This is what we want to see. More running at people.
Yeah, let's go. It's already been like 30 seconds since our last kill, so we better start getting active here.
Oh my god, he blew up the smoke. My nuts. That you were not the target.
Decent snowball.
S4 still coming over nonetheless. They're going to have some TPs over. Minuts is going to go ahead and throw up the Walrus Punch. Swifting actually gets Glimmer Caves, and he just gets blown up. The Hadouken actually helps that as well. That Seder Tormentor is not happy that his family is getting their home invaded. They'll push bottom finally. S4 is like, nah, I don't want to deal with it. Loda is here, though. He has drums, by the way, which I think is going to fight with anything. Drum, pretty good item.
All right, it's time to dive, I think, here for 4CL.
They got it out of their system.
They have haste ready. Go. Yep, that's right. That direction.
Pycat doesn't want to pop it. He's saving for a rainy day. They can't decide. What do we do? Do we run at them? Do we push? Do we dive? Help me out, team. S4 now has a point booster, more than likely the beginnings of Bloodstone, although I guess Octane's fine. I haven't really seen Octane Death Drop with this. I'm sure that's good. S4 is getting charged up, and here we go. Yules comes out. There's going to be the Winter's Curse. The Static Storm will go and actually zone out Swift ending from the rest of his team, but S4 snowballed at the last second, will stay alive. Doesn't matter, dead anyways. Big poison over the back wall. How is anyone going to survive through this? Bulldog fighting for his life, but losing the battle. Saksa now use the Cold Embrace. S4 bought back and actually just exorcisms. And barely kills Swift Ending. Saksa trying to hightail it out of there, but limping away will go down to Ake. He gets the double kill. S4's buyback turns out to be pretty beneficial.
That's pretty much a draw, so I think we're going to keep fighting. The gold is currently 0. The experience is 1,000 lead for Alliance. This is just...
Welcome to Cloudtown, folks.
It's funny that they're playing so extremely recklessly and aggressively and just constantly fighting, and the game is that even. Like, usually one of the teams just, when you go full YOLO fights all the time, you just end up, at some point, the enemy team gets a better fight, they get ahead, and they start snowballing and winning fights. But this just keeps drawing out fights, basically, or drawing them, rather. Man, good stuff.
This is what I expected out of Game 1. When I didn't get it, I got real sad, and they're making up for it. Thanks, guys. This game is a lot of fun. I mean, there's not much on the line, if anything.
It's really great that, even though, yeah, like you said, even though there's nothing on the line really for both teams, I guess a first seed does make a difference, maybe for Alliance. So to an extent that, but it's still double a limb with 4 teams that the second phase is.
Yeah.
It's an experimental ground for them in a way to just try. It's kind of like I wouldn't even call it a scrim, because even in scrims I don't feel like you go full ham like this. They're having a good time, and that's a big part of being a competitive team too, is being able to, you need to know when to focus and when to relax and just let shit happen and have fun. It's good for team building.
Shit is happening, let me tell you what. That's a very accurate statement right now. There's been a lot of crazy fights here. 24-21 is the score. It feels like it should be more, but S4's advantage that he had earlier on in the game is starting to slip to Pycat's Midas, and now that he's building his Aghanim Scepter as well. I mean, he's had some amazing Poison Nova. It's been like Poison Nova on top of a Vac wall or something with like an Iron Shell on top and like maybe a Winter's Curse thrown in there or something like that, a Sleight of Fist. The AoE they have is dangerous. potent is the word I would use, but
I really think Alliance need a mech or a pipe against this lineup.
Yeah, I was thinking they're going for it with Minuts. There's the Glimmer Cape coming out. They don't have detection, so they're not going to catch out Saksa.
Even warded on the way out. This is a very nice play from him. He's going to live.
Somehow alive, TP. Yeah, he's good. Oh, he breaks the trees when coming down from Marks of Ruin. On the other side, the Remnant was able to get out before the Silence connects for the Ember Spirit. So even though the Flame Guard gets purged off, he's able to get away.
Flycat's trying to get the tower here. Does not succeed. Yeah, he does succeed. Aki with the glimpse. He got him.
There's no kinetic field. Get that poison over off. There it is. Doesn't matter if you die now. Your work's done.
Yeah, Aki's going to get the knight.
No,
is the poison nova didn't. Wait, it did hit.
It did.
No, it didn't hit.
It didn't hit him? No, I think it just went out of... No, you're right, it didn't hit him.
I think it didn't hit.
The Gale hit and... What? What? Minus?
Oh, it does 70 damage per tick on level 3. That must have been like exactly on the HP that he died, or like within 3 damage, and they wanted to give him a chance to survive.
Oh, that's when you just raise your hands and be like, oh, sorry, Dan.
I wonder if Minuts had Bud already. Then it would be funny. EGM. I mean, why not? Just go.
There's fights happening in like
He's killing him. He's killing him.
EGM,
no. I didn't even need it.
He got some. He gets him. I can't even speak English.
He got some.
I can't even speak English after this game, dude. Just put me down.
This is good.
Bottom tower is under attack.
All right, what do we got going on? Swift Ending now has 2.4k gold. Still only treads a kilo, a wand, and a bottle, and a PMS. But he's not the big factor here. It's really Pycat.
Look at the gold crap.
Yeah, that sounds right. That looks great.
Let's
go on a roller coaster ride of emotions
here
today, Sim.
Constant fighting right there. There's no real advantage for either team. I wonder if there's some core items coming up that are really going to change the flow of the game. For me, the problem for 4C+L is going to be if Swift Ending doesn't start getting some serious damage items, BKBs are going to ruin their lineup. It counters Veno very nicely, counters the Ion Shells very nicely. Even Alliance's own lineup getting Winter's Cursed isn't that bad because Gyro is a spread damage carry and DP, all of her damage is from the Exorcism Ghosts, which shouldn't target her ally. They shouldn't target the ally when it gets cursed, even though Exorcism always goes for your target. I actually don't know the mechanic there because I never see this hero play.
I don't know what the actual intended mechanic is, but I feel like it wouldn't go to your ally target, just because that'd be very strange. Either way, Lotus decided
they don't when you try to deny an ally. I think that's the reasonable comparison, right? Is if you attack an ally who's low with Doom, that ghosts don't start moving toward it.
I think they only attack enemy units,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Even though I don't think Winter's Curse actually clarifies you as an enemy unit. I don't know the real mechanics. Don't know. And anyway, Loda is going to be going for a BKB, so he's getting a little bit more serious now, and he's got more farm than Swift Ending does by a fair margin. And Swift Ending, like you said, he needs some sort of damage items, and he's just not there yet. You can go back to when he was fighting earlier on in that top lane. He TP'd in, he threw his life away. There have been other instances where he's been prioritizing fighting instead of farming, and those instances have not been beneficial to him actually getting items. So I think that's the big thing. Loda's going to have a BKB, and then what do? You know, Poison Nova is not going to really do much. I mean, a 10-second BKB charge, although there is an Aghanim Scepter, so it depends on what the Poison Nova gets off and when BKB gets off.
They can still kill all the others. This should keep Loda fairly safe. They can still Winter's Curse him and actually target him enough with their physical damage that he might go down. There's also, of course, the wall, which is an X factor we shouldn't forget. It's an extra amount of physical damage from 4CL. So.
Oh, he's going Desolator. Ember Spirit's going Deso.
Going Deso? I like it.
I guess if we're fighting this much.
I like it because let's fight. Let's not farm with a Battle Fury, you know? Let's just go. Just deal some physical damage. See if you can get it on. It's also going to help them do Roche if they want to try for that. That's fairly easy to do with a Veno with minus armor, actually.
Pycat has Invis. At this point, they should know there's a BKB on Gyrocopter. They can quickly click on him. Still Invis. Charge was coming. EGM canceled it.
He's getting some good information here. Oh, he got spotted.
Yeah, they see him. They're going to try to take him down. Tusk going to throw up the Ice Charge. Good Cold Embrace. They actually saw some socks. They can't get the Winter's Curse off. Glimpse back as well. And Pycat goes down. Now they can't fight at all. Might Winter's Curse here and just try to get out, but this is not enough damage. Back wall will do some work, but Loda pops the BKB immediately. Bambo, call down will go. It doesn't even really need it. He just gets destroyed by Rocket Barrage on the right flank. There's the statics from Swift Ending. Makes it out. Doesn't have Remnant to get away, though, and the Rocket Barrage doing so much work. They'll glimpse him back. And now Swift Ending and EGM all on their own. Ultra kill for S4.
Now it finally happened.
Exorcism. He didn't use Exorcism. He just killed him with right-click and Crypt Swarm. What?
Well, it had to happen at some point. That gem on Bulldog just secured that fight for Alliance. If he didn't have that, I think Pycat would have got a really good Poison Nova off. Instead, he gets none off. And it's actually the majority of 4CL right now is coming from that Venomancer. So him on the sidelines is going to give them a losing fight. And I understand that they're trying to save him. The problem was they had cooldown on Glimmer Cape, so when he cold embraced him and couldn't Glimmer, they couldn't keep him alive long enough from all the magical nukes, and then he does end up dying under the effect of the silence from Bulldog.
Go get it, Saxa. Go get it, Saxa. Oh, not quite. Did he have a slot for it? Oh, he died anyway.
Okay.
No, he didn't even have a slot for it.
Yeah, well.
There's the Gale on S4 as a double damage rune. Throws up the Euls, the Exorcism's still going for a bit. There's the Poison Nova, gets it off before the silence comes out. I think he hit 2 of them, but it doesn't matter. He's dead anyways. TP coming in. This Rocket Barrage call down will go as well. They cancel the TP. And now Alliance have said, okay, well, I think that's enough. EGM just charges in randomly in this game, and it seems to work out. And I can't really complain. Silence? Victims? No.
Come on, Alliance, go! 5 on 3.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're not 4CL. They would have dove the tier 3 if that was
objective-based gaming. We got 60 kills in 30 minutes, roughly, right now. That's pretty good.
Fantastic Dota game, honestly.
This is what Dota... I was about to say this is what Dota is all about, but it's not. Because these teams are obviously playing to win, and it's not all about just going into bloodbaths. But this is the entertainment part is what Dota is all about from a spectator perspective, and this is really fun.
Dire's top tower
gem,
is under attack.
Not on S4. Who is it on, actually? It's on Admirable Log, which is pretty good. There's the Octarine Core. So what's the cooldown with this Death Prophet ulti? 108.75. But the Crypt Swarm is, I think, the most important thing. It's like a 3-second cooldown. You spam that crazily.
Lower cooldown in Euls, lower cooldown in Silence.
Yeah.
Did I call it cooldown? Cooldown. And, of course, the healing from Crypt Swarm is not that irrelevant either. It does deal quite a bit of damage when you have such a low cooldown, so it keeps you alive. Of course, I believe the Exorcism Ghosts also should heal you while they deal the damage. It is a spell after all. So, it is a very good item on Death Prophet.
Bambo, how are you going to get out of this predicament, buddy? What are you going to...
Oh, almost had blink
anymore. Yeah, it doesn't matter because there was an items for Bulldog, so even if he went to the trees, there was no fogging happening on the side of Bambo.
Yeah, and then they can snowball him when he tries to TP out after.
Yeah. So he dies. He has Blink and a set of Guardian Greaves. Swift Ending has decided that, well, I guess if they're going to play the farm again, so should I. It's after him buying a Desolator, so... Bottom lane actually has a creep wave that's pushing up towards the tier 3 tower radiant side, so they take the tier 1 tower just through sheer will alone. Obviously no backdoor protection, so it doesn't matter, but we've slowed down the pace of the game now, man. There's a point where it was like a kill at least a minute, and now it just seems like, okay, we'll play methodical Dodo, be a little bit boring, play to win.
A little bit boring. Well, they pushed. They didn't sit back and farm, right? I mean, they're still...
I mean, I'm not complaining.
Still going in.
Yeah.
I think it's time to smoke, though, for Alliance. Yeah. They still have the Aegis.
Exorcism is
Get
back
something
up.
done with it.
It's level 3 Exorcism. They have the Octarine Core. Swift Ending can't really fight yet still. Again, because, like you mentioned, Flame Guard is going to get purged by the Euls. He's going to get silenced when he drops down. Maybe he can get out with a quick Remnant, but... Swift Ending is really not in position, I think, yet where he can contest some of this farm. Pycat is fine. He has the Aghanim Scepter. He's got 1,700 gold in the bank as well. So if he can get a Poison Nova off and maybe last through the fight, they'll be in a good spot. It really comes down to Pycat, I think, though, for 4CL. I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let's see if they want to try to fight this top tower. It doesn't look like it.
No. They have Glyph, but 4CL are interested in other things like pushing bottom and maybe forcing a TP rotation back to the tier 3 tower. But Alliance will more than likely just take this tower, then back up. They're already having a TP from Pycat, realizing that, hey, they might actually just push this tier 3 tower, and they will do so. Bulldog has the Aghanim Scepter, so he has got great vision. They don't see anybody behind the Rex just yet, but there are 2 heroes there. Bulldog will see him now. Now they'll back up. S4 has the Exorcism going to work. Aegis is still up, so even if the Winter's Curse, the biggest thing is just to get that Exorcism down. And one way you can do that, obviously, is just throwing up Winter's Curse. However, they'll just go in the vacuum. Static Storm will go. Bambo will get out of it. They have to put some maybe at the ready. EGM just jumps in, gets used up, and creating a lot of space for his team. Their call down will go, they'll take down EGM, but their Rax is safe, their tier 3 tower is safe for the time being. There's going to be the Winter's Curse, but there's greatly timed Loda BKB. 3 dead for 4CL, Sleight of Fist not nearly enough. Loda and the crew will back up, 4 dead suddenly. Double kill coming up from Bambo. The Illusion's actually doing a ton of work. The Remnant coming in. Loda in trouble. Now he's going to get Sleight of Fist.
Illusion's owning Ake.
Oh my god, it's just going to town. Bambo gets a triple kill from the grave, and S4 is like, what just happened? Time to back up.
Okay, how did they win that, or draw that fight, rather, 4CL? They did not get Poison Nova off. They did not combo with Winter's Curse Vacuum. They did not combo with Vacuum Wall. They had Spirit Breaker off to the side, dying in the beginning of the fight. Like, those wall illusions must have been alive for like a good 15 or 20 seconds to kill off those Alliance heroes. They lost to themselves.
It was a combination of Sleight of Fists, I think. Some decent AoE damage from him. The Vacuum Wall, obviously, I don't even know if he got the full Vacuum Wall off, but that did enough damage where all the heroes that were low got destroyed by the Night Stalker illusion like you talked about. It happens.
Yeah, well, they did hold. They are starting to lose out a little bit on the gold. They experienced quite a bit more drastic advantage for Alliance, but this is still anyone's game, honestly. With the last 2 fights going the way they have, one really good for Alliance and one draw, both of them without Poison Nova. When Pyket gets BKB, things can get really interesting. I'm surprised he doesn't go Blink, actually, in this game, though.
He's not far off 1,000 gold for the recipe or so, and he'll have that BKB at the ready. SNY has not been completed for the Gyrocopter. And another important fact is that this BKB is down to, what, 8-second duration? So eventually that'll become an issue for Loda down the road. Swift Ending has a Chrysalis, so small crit first, pick up the Daedalus. Not much survivability, but he doesn't seem to be concerned about that this game, and I don't think he should be. Why would you? Just have fun.
And he can still farm pretty fast, even without Battle Fury. Of course, it is a great farming item, and it's a good teamfight item for all the spread damage you deal with the slights, but you farm pretty fast when you have all this minus armor and, of course, the crit. So these camps do die fairly quickly still. And he can keep up the farm very well and stay almost on par with Alliance's cores for now. Oh, there's a pipe now. Now they have pipe mech. That's what I was talking about. They need this. Or BKBs on all of their heroes. That's also a solution.
That would make it a lot easier. Sitting at BKB, Loda might have to pop his here. No, he just gets charged and they back up.
Dead.
He just like crossed the road and expected nobody to like watch him do it. Like they just saw him. Gosh, shit. Oh, my bad, team.
Yeah, he glimmered across and then darkness comes out and he's dead. If they didn't use darkness, he would have lived. I think. Oh, they're gonna find Swift Ending here. He doesn't have a Spirit out, and he also doesn't have mana.
No mana. He needs to TP away immediately, and Bulldog can cancel with a Void, and he has great vision of him.
Is he going down?
He's gonna...
All right, there we go.
Bulldog's gonna chase this maybe all the way. Maybe not. He's sticking behind 4-bit now, waiting maybe for his team. Throws up the Silence, will throw up the Void as well, but Swift Ending actually survives, and they won't dive. He just... they didn't have anybody nearby to help him. It would have just been him.
Yeah.
And also their tier 3 second push.
Have you watched the rest of the game?
Yeah, but that's 4CL that's doing it. Alliance are like, yeah, well, we'll kind of play Clowny, but we're not going to chase you under your tier 3 tower. We're just going to take your racks now.
Come on.
And they might do it. They might take this melee rack. The Exorcism is doing so much damage. They already glyphed. There's the silence. Oh, that silence is beautiful. But Pycat pops BKB. There's the poison of him. They get down the wall. Not much going on. Winter's Curse. They want to bring down Loda, but he's going to work on this Rax. On the other side, Snowball. EGM is just making space. Walrus Punch will go. Static Storm on the other side of the fight. EGM caught in it. Cold Embrace keeping him alive while also taking damage from that freaking Static Storm. Nobody is dead, by the way, somehow throughout all of this. The Rax is finally fallen. It is the melee Rax, so the range Rax will keep that amount of HP.
Yeah, that Poison Nova only hit S4, who was healing a lot and had BKB, and Loda, who also had BKB. So they negated the vast majority of the damage out of the Nova. And then in addition to that, the vacuum from Bambo that tried to vacuum them into the wall came out at the same time as the charge from Spirit Breaker. So he stopped them as they were being pulled in, they got bashed out. So the entire combo just went wrong for 4CL.
It's a great little interaction. Sox is going to get caught out again. He's across the river for whatever reason. His team was there, or getting close to being there. EGM's going to come in, but it's too late. Bulldog still has the gem, and EGM's walking nearby as if nothing's going to happen to him. Joke's on you, EGM. You're dead. Probably. Definitely.
Glimpsing Swift Ending a little weird there, but this is a very, very long silence. Night Stalker Silence, 8-second duration. Now another one for 6.
He's just like, can somebody help me?
Nope. All right, that's the second lane, I think. They have Exorcism again, 5.
Alliance have They've taken the clown shoes off, they've unlaced them, and now they're going straight down. They're looking for the tier 2 tower. One thing I did want to talk about for 4CL was if they could last long enough, BKBs are a non-renewable resource, that they will go down in duration at some point and they will hit a critical low. Aghanim Scepter ult from Venomancer is something that exists throughout the game and is constantly used and is not really changed, other than maybe HP scaling up for Alliance. Speaking of Pycat and his Venom or Poison Poison Nova. Jesus. He's going to get homing missile. Glimpse back on Bambo. There's going to be the call to brace him alive for the time, but the call down will go right on top of him. Glimmer Kick just keep him up as well, but he's taking too much damage. Doesn't get the wall down, doesn't have buyback either, but there's the Poison Nova. Hits onto 3. Bulldog will hit it. Now they do get the Winter's Curse off. Split the blast will go. Can they kill Loda? That's the dream, but there's the Static Storm. Pycat has to be Golden Brace. EGM just wants this kill. And with one more right click, he'll do the job. The Splitter Blast will do it for Saksa. Pycat still in trouble. Walrus Punch will bring him down. Swift Ending is back up in 2 seconds. S4 has no exorcism, so the tier 3 tower will fall, but the rack's still safe. But that's it. They tap out. You could make an argument here, and just bear with me for a second, because I know this doesn't matter. But you can make an argument that if Swift Ending decided to not go to Clown Town and maybe just farm a little bit more, this game could have been a bit closer and they could have taken the late game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he could have gone Battle Fury, farmed more, and he would have probably also done more damage in the fights overall, maybe, with it. But at the point when he bought the Deso, he could have only had, obviously, some of the components, because he never bought the Perseverance, so I'm not sure. I mean, regardless, I thought that was just a lot of fun. No, that was a really entertaining game.
I am not complaining in any way, shape, or form. That's one of the best games I'll get to cast in a long time. I mean, if you're diving tier 3 towers when there's still a tier 1 tower up at like 15 minutes into the game, you're all right in my book for 4CL. Again, it goes with their mantra of let's just run at you, and they did. And then they lost.
They ran at you and then they lost.
But you got to hand it to 4CL. They played, I thought, a pretty good tournament. They are out, and with that loss, that's going to be it for them. But a lot of fun for us to watch them, I think, making some clowny plays, making some fun plays. Alliance, maybe not necessarily back to old form, but they certainly look good soon.
Yeah, I think they have a pretty good shot going into Phase 2. Now, most likely they will be joined by Team Liquid, unless they really mess up now. And from Group B, I think it's fairly likely that right now we have NIP in first place, and I think most likely for me is Monkey Business will join them. So that should be a pretty interesting Final Four, and in that one, you just want to get top 2, right? Then you're qualified. Yeah. So Alliance has a pretty good shot at being back.
Yeah. 13, 3, and 24, the stat line for S4 on Death Prophet. Many people thought that hero not particularly good, but worked pretty well
in this game. It's generally good if you get First Blood and get 3-0 in lane.
Yeah,
then you're strong. A lot of heroes are good.
Yeah, that'll do
still,
it.
He played very well.
With that being said, we are going to hand it over to the panel, I believe. So thanks so much for watching, guys. My name is Mott. With me is Cinderin. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much, Mott. And the Lions looking good, going 2-0 over the 4 Clovers. And as they mentioned, that is the end of the run here for the 4 Clovers officially. I think Mott summarized that series, or that last game rather, in 2 perfect words: Clown Town.
Listen, I don't appreciate that Mott was talking down to the denizens of Clown Town, okay? Clown Town is a very nice place. There's no reason to mock it like
You've
that.
spent many an hour there, I
have. Yeah, listen, I mean, sometimes Clown Town is just the place you want to be.
Okay, what do you think, Purge? Were you watching that game just thinking, more kills?
It brought me back a little bit to TI4 qualifiers when we were down and out and Bambo got a rampage on offlane Rubik. And that's what it reminded me of a lot. It's basically the same kind of thing. It's like, well, we're going to lose. Let's have fun. And you saw that strength. EGM did a bunch of dumb things, but at some point I was like, wait, his KDA is actually pretty good. Like, and then he solely killed S4. I was like, are they going to win? Like,
I liked when he dove the tier 4 towers at 13 minutes. That was a big highlight for me of EGM's play in that game.
It was good.
It's pretty good
stuff.
stuff.
You win games.
Absolutely. What did you think, Lumi? What was your expert analysis? Do we have a luminous analysis for that game?
I mean, there's a replay in the back, but we don't have time, so we're not going to play it. But, I mean, is there any reason to strategically analyze that game? Cause,
no, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I guess there's one thing to say is that the Radiant team, they had great fighting heroes to meet the Clown Town. They had low cooldowns on the Gyrocopter. And more importantly, they were great at fighting with the Exorcism as well. They could fight under the enemy tier 3 towers and take them. Also, Alliance had a lot of experiences losing against Venno. Remember that 70-minute game against NIP where they lost?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, I think it's Johannesson fan. I cannot pronounce his name.
Johannesson fan? Yeah.
That guy.
That
Yeah.
guy.
That dude.
He laid so many 5-man Venno ults, and we had to talk with S4 afterwards. Like, why'd you lose? Well, we took too many 5-man ults. So in that game, they avoided them very well. Like,
they played very well. They would set the cores up in the front, and all the supports would sit arced out in the back. Like, they took that game very seriously.
that was some like
being
StarCraft
ridiculous.
Marine lines, you know, like they weren't clumped.
Serious micro.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, let's take a look at our updated brackets here. Again, I keep calling it the bracket, the standings here. That takes us close to the end of Group A, but we're going to delve into Group B coming up next. The next match we're covering here on this stream will be Na'Vi versus Monkey Business, so that's a good one there for Group B. And as you can see, Alliance and Team Liquid topping the charts in Group A. Empire still have a sliver of hope, do they? No, because Alliance went...
Yes,
They could win 2 more and then get 7 points.
Okay, yeah, you're
And
right.
then
no,
Liquid.
it's just one match. It's their match versus Liquid that will decide if Empire win both games. Then they will move on because they
Actually,
will
even
have
if
to
they
win.
win 1, it's just a heads-up tie, isn't it?
No, because they only get 1 point for a draw, and then Team
Oh,
Liquid
correct.
No,
will get
Empire,
a
Empire only has 1 series to go, and it's against Liquid. So even
Yeah,
if
exactly.
even
So-
if they 2-0, they'll have 7 points. Liquid already has...
6.
They only have 6.
Oh,
So if they win, Empire have to win both games in order to be the second team.
Okay,
if
to
they
even
lose
have a chance.
game in that series,
Now,
then
the caveat
Liquid.
there, though, is Alliance, or pardon me, Liquid still have 2 series to go. Their last series is against Stark. So feels pretty likely Liquid might be able to 2-0 their way into that one. Even if they draw against Stark, they'll still best Empire.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So,
really the same thing.
It's
out of
really in
Empire's
the hands of Liquid for this group. So looking at Group B, things are still pretty even over there, but this Monkey Business Na'Vi matchup should be a good one. And I feel like everyone's been hyping up Monkey Business, but we haven't seen them in their full form yet.
I think that Monkey Business still looks a little bit iffy sometimes in that they definitely do make a lot of sloppy plays. One of the big things about Monkey Business, like it's the joke, but it's like Miracle +4. It is a joke, but there is a small ring of truth to it in that Miracle oftentimes is the best player on that team, and he displays it with his carry prowess. Like I think he's easily top 5 carries right now in the Western scene. And then you've got the rest of Monkey Business, who there are definitely some standout players oftentimes, but they can make some pretty sloppy plays, and we've seen that already in this qualifier.
Do you think Na'Vi have a chance here, Lumi? You're talking about being an old school fan. Do
I
you
am
believe?
a Na'Vi fanboy, but I think there's a lot of on and off games for Na'Vi. Like, Dendi could have an off game. Havos could definitely have an off game. Funnick, to me, has been an on and off player for like a year or 2 now. So I don't know if Na'Vi feels good today. Same thing with the Monkey Business. I feel like they have a lot of on and off game. The one big change is that Miracle is like The Rock. He does not have an off game. He's always that guy that gives you the solid carry. So with that said, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards Monkey because they're less prone to have off games, I guess.
Okay. And looking at the schedule moving forward, it will be the CIS Rejects versus the other open qualified team.
No Logic.
No Logic, that's who it is. Thank you, Lumi, bailing me out here. That'll be in our second heat, and then after that it'll be Stark versus 4CL. Yep, that one not really going to count for a hell of a lot, and then it'll be Empire versus Team Liquid in that third heat. So still some pretty interesting games to go here in day 2 of our European qualifier.
Should be good.
Any final thoughts, Purge? You're giving me that look like you might have some anger behind those eyes.
Nope, no anger. Just
Okay.
slightly tired.
Just sleepiness.
Just a little.
All right, very good.
Just a bit.
Group B could be really interesting if either CIS Rejects or No Logic actually, take their series against
get a
each other
2-0,
2-0, right?
Yeah.
And then that would bump somebody up. And I think it's actually potential that CIS Rejects, like I really felt like they were a third place team, but who knows? Maybe they step it up and they just get hot at the right time, essentially.
Yeah, any of those CIS teams, I would be scared to go up against. I always say I would be scared to play against them in a single elimination format. This isn't quite the same, but the weight,
close enough,
the weight of the 2 zeros is actually kind of reminiscent of that same feeling.
Yeah. I mean, No Logic is also a scary opponent for that reason. They definitely could take games. For example, they took a game off Na'Vi.
There's a lot of individual talent on that team.
Yeah, exactly. When they were playing the open qualifier against Power Rangers, they play extremely well. So I wouldn't sleep on them. They could put a Meepo 5th pick out, and suddenly you could just lose a game from that, right? So that's a danger.
I mean, we saw Secret do that at ESL just last weekend. So Meepo can be scary, man, especially in the hands of Excalibur. I think is he the second or third most played Meepo on in competitive, something like that. He's in the top of Meepo picks.
Especially considering his window of playing competitively is actually
quite short,
so small.
Yeah.
It goes to show. And, you know, a lot of people like to clown on the fact that, oh, you can only play Meepo or you can only do that. But there is a lot of power in those kind of signature pickups that teams aren't used to playing against. It's a very different play style, and it makes for really powerful drafting sometimes when you can pick it up in the 4-5.
He was a tinker picker too, right?
Yeah.
Back in the days for
exactly.
Fnatic, so he could bring a tinker
It was
back.
that
Who knows?
patch.
Yeah. Oh, I'll never forget that game when they upset. Was it DK at the time at the Summit 2, I think? That huge Tinker game when Excalibur went out of control with like 14-3 or something. It was the game where No Tail jumped in Trixie's lap at the end. And I was the admin in that game. I'll never forget that. That was wild, man. That was serious. So, all right, with that, folks, we're going to have a break. And then when we come back, our second heat of the European Qualifiers, Day 2, will get underway. We're here in the Monster Energy DreamHack Studios. We're not going anywhere. Come back after the break to join us for more Dota.